सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Janana. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. Meenatottu Kuttuga were the beautiful words of Tunjattu Ramanuja Ezhuthachan to get the pain that was tormenting Narayana Bhattatiri. Bhattatiri, who got the idea from this, thought it is high time that I describe all the avatara viseshams of Paramatma. So that is when he wanted to begin with the fish. But Bhagavatam doesn't begin with the fish. It has got various other anecdotes, various other aitihyams that it lists. So in this sequence of topics that were dealt with, the 32nd Dashakam talks about Matsya Avataram. It is said that when Bhagavan was engaged in his Yoga Nidra and Brahma was engaged in his own Nidra, he keeps reciting the Vedas. When he yawned, the effect, the very quintessence of the Vedas were stolen by an asura called as Hayagriva. In order to retrieve the Vedas back, Bhagavan is said to have incarnated as a fish. But to whom and when? In the Dramida Desha, by the banks of river Kritamala, which is referred to as Vaigai today, there was a great Raja called Satyavrata. When he took the waters of the river to perform Tarpanam, he noticed a Balaminaha, a resplendent, beautiful fish. He took that to a pot, then to a well, then to a lake because of its increasing size. And through his yoga drishti, yoga power, he was able to pull it to the seas. That is when, realizing that it was Sakshat Bhagavan, he asked, when will the pralayam happen? Out of all curiosity. That is when Bhagavan said, in Saptaha, at the end of 7 days. This is where the current episode begins, where he says, Dharam twadadesha karim avaptam naurupinim aruruhustadate tatkampa kampeshu cha teshu bhuyastvamambudhera vira bhurmahiyan tadate aruruhu dharam. Then they all boarded a lake. What was that particular lake? Was it lake? No. He says, Dharam, this particular earth that was there, that was getting submerged, that earth, avaptam naurupinim, it was no lake or river, it was earth that became a beautiful boat. So avaptam naurupinim twadadeshakarim, in adeshakari, with your command, bhuyaha cha teshu, again when they all, so the Saptarishis and Manu, they all boarded that particular boat. What was that boat? That was essentially earth. Bhuyaha cha teshu, again when they tat kampa kampreshu, So, because of that trembling, because of that pralayam that was happening, the boat was thrown this way and that way. Imagine you're in the middle of the sea when there is a big cyclone or there's a hurricane, and how the boat will get tossed. So he says, Tat kampa kampreshu satsu tvam avirabhuhu ambudhe. At that point in time, because Bhagavan had disappeared. See, to Satyavrata Raja, when he had asked when pralayam will happen, Bhagavan said Saptaham, and he disappeared. Now earth appeared as a boat, they all went into the boat. Now when they were all getting tossed, that is when Bhagavan appeared. Tvam avirabhuhu ambudhehe mahiyan, in the form of a fish that was bigger than before. It was much, much larger with a single horn. In Sahasranamam, we get this nama Shringi, to which Adi Shankara in his Bhashyam says, that one who appeared as a fish with a beautiful single horn, Shringam. Jashakritiam yojana lakshadирgham dadhanam uchchair tejasam tvam nirikshya tushta munayastvaduktya tvattunga shringe taranim babandhuhu. Munayaha tushtaha nirikshya tvam, upon spotting you as the fish with a single horn, tushtaha, the munis, the saptarishis were all elated. Dadhanam jashakritim, Jashakritim, as a fish, Jasha, as a fish you had come, Dadhanam, Yojana Laksha Dirgham, Yojana Laksha Dirgham. So these are all numbers given. I don't know whether we have to convert them to see it in realistic times. He says Yojana Laksha Dirgham. Laksha, Yojana Laksha. Laksha means 100,000. Yojana, that is a number that is used to describe, some people say 8 miles, some people say 9.5 miles. Yojana Laksha Dirgham, it was that long. To say that the fish was that big. Uchchaistaras tejasam babandhuhu. So it was very effulgent in appearance. Taranim tvattunga shringe tvaduktya. Tvatta shringe. So there was a beautiful horn that was there with the fish, to which the boat was attached as commanded by you. So Bhagavan had done the prerana that this boat with that string should be attached to the horn that I have come up with. Akrishta nauko muni mandalaya pradarshayan vishwa jagad vibhagan samstuyamano dhrivarena tena jnanam param chopadishanna charihi tvam Akrishta naukaha. Then you were pulling that particular boat. Pradarshayan Vishwa Jagad Vibhagan, showing all regions of the universe to them. Munimandalaya Samstuyamanaha, to those sages. As you appeared to show those beautiful worlds that you have created to the Munis, Samstuyamanaha, they did not remain mute spectators. In fact, they were amazed. See, when we look at nature, we too will get amazed how beautiful they are. At times you see such beautiful hills, you see those waterfalls, you see lakes, you see rivers flowing, and you see the seas, and you see the color of the seas. Especially for those of you who are wide travelers, you will well know that you go to northern lights or southern lights, you go very close to the Arctic or the Antarctic Circle, where you get to see those beautiful northern lights. Those colors that you see in the sky is something that we can't even fathom, imagine. So when the rishis were amazed looking at the worlds when they were traveling in the boat, he says, Muni Mandalaya Samstuyamana. They ended up praising you. They started praising you through the Vedic chants. Tena Nrivarena. By then, the one who was the foremost of the kings, called Satyavrata, Acharihi Upadishan. Then, at that point in time, when he raised a few doubts, through his the Jnana Drishti, through the inner eye, he was able to get Upadesham from you as a fish. So Bhagavan as Matsya became an Acharya who was giving the Upadesham. Acharihi Upadishan Jnanam Paramcha, giving that supreme knowledge to you. So that supreme knowledge was bestowed on you. Acharihi Upadishan Jnanam Paramcha, that supreme knowledge was given. Next, Kalpavadhau Saptamunin Purovat Prasthapya Satyavrata Bhumipam Tam Vaivasvatakhyam Manumadadhanaha Krodadhaya Grivam Abhidruto Bhuhu Kalpavadhau Tvam Prasthapya. at the end of Pralayam, you install. So on one side you are giving Upadesham to the Raja, Kalpavadho, towards the end of the Kalpam, Prasthapya, you installed, Saptamunin Purovat. So you establish those Munis, the Saptarishis, in their respective places. Each of them has a place. Adadhanahatam Satyavrata Bhumipam, and having bestowed Satyavrata, that particular position, Vaivasvatakhyam Manu, as what? As the Manu of Vivaswan, this particular Manvantaram, you made him the Manu, the caretaker. Abhuhu Krodhat Abhidrutaha. So with that particular anger, so on one side you put the rishis in their respective places. When we say respective places in the cosmology canvas, it could be in the sky, or they could be pushed to certain geographies, stating that in these geographies you need to spread the dharmic knowledge. So Vaivasvatakhyam Manu, and the king Satyavrata was made the Manu. Abhuhu Krodhat Abhidrutaha. At that point in time, let's go back to the first verse. Pura Hayagriva Mahasurebhya. So that Hayagriva, who had stolen that knowledge from Brahma, now spotted that each of them were put to their respective positions. Satyavrata was being made the Manu by this fish. So he came in attacking that fish. Abhuhu Krodhat Abhidrutaha Hayagrivam. So this Hayagriva, this particular Asura, came with that anger attacking you. Then what happened? Swatunga Shrunga Kshatavakshasamtam Nipatya Daityam Nigamad Grihitva Virinchaye Prita Hrude Dadanaha Prabhanjanagarapate Prapayaha. He Prabhanjanaragapate. Prabhanjanagarapate means the one who is the Lord of Vayu. Prabhanjana, Prabhanjanagarapate, the one whose city is named after Prabhanjana. Hey Guruvayurappa, Tvam Nipatyatam Daityam, you having killed that particular Asura called Hayagriva, Swatunga Shrunga Kshatavakshasam, through by piercing his chest with your horn, with your Shrungam, Grihitva Nigaman, and after having recovered the Vedas. So you pierced his chest through that Shrungam. Remember that particular horn. Why is this horn important? Because in a work called as Sudarshana Shatakam of over 100 verses that describes the greatness of Sudarshana Chakram, the author Puranarayana Jiya, who was a great Acharya Varya, he says that Chakra is the one that annihilates the demons. And in every avatara, Chakra moves place to place. In Vamana avatara, Chakra was seen within the Darbha grass. In that Matsya avatara, it is seen within the horn. So that Sudarshanamsha Shrungam was able to get this particular Asura killed. Swatunga Shrunga Kshatavakshasam Grihitva Nigaman. Thereby, after having killed Hayagriva, he retrieved the Vedas and gave it away to Brahma. Dadanaha Prita Hrude Virinchaye, to Virincha. Virincha means Brahma. To Brahma, Virincha, this particular lost knowledge was given. Prapayaha, that particular Lord who was able to bless the Saptarishis, that particular Lord who was able to bestow his blessings on Dramidadesha Raja Satyavrata, that particular Lord who was able to kill Hayagriva the Asura, that particular Lord who retrieved the Vedas, may he also protect me. He said, Prapayaha, hey Prabhanjanagarapate, why don't you protect me? So he has paid his tribute to that Matsya avataram, Meena avataram, which was earlier invoked by Tunjathu Ramanuja Ezhuthacham. So that cycle which began in the first Dashakam got completed in the 32nd Dashakam.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 നാരായണ നാരായണ